All right. Welcome, everyone. This is our Columbus Sitecore user group September session, and we decided to have a session to discuss about the upcoming symposium. As you know, like everyone here probably missed the in-person symposium, and from 2019, we are attending this virtual symposium. So we want to see what our panel member here have their thoughts, what they think about the upcoming symposium, and we will hear you all. So we'll start with the introduction. And since I'm talking, I will go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Himadri Chakrabarti. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and I work in a company called Nistec, which is a Cincinnati-based company here in Ohio itself. I'm with Nistec for last 7 years, and that's the time, probably as long as I am working with Sitecore. I started working with Sitecore in 2013. I came from a traditional company. I was in a bank and then joined in an e-commerce product company and started working on Sitecore. I was given responsibility to create a connector with their e-commerce system, Zenode e-commerce system and Sitecore integration. And I started working with that and found this amazing Sitecore community. And from there on, I am part of the Sitecore community, and I'm very, very grateful for all the people in the community, and especially especially Sitecore, the way they actually run their business model, and community matters a lot. So that's me, and I'll ask Robbert, introduce yourself, and then we'll take turn.
Thanks for having me. My name is Robbert Hock, and I'm a Sitecore MVP since 2010. I'm a 12-time Sitecore MVP. I'm based in the Netherlands, born and raised, and I'm actually working for myself as a Sitecore freelancer contractor since 2011 as well. I started working with Sitecore in 2008 on 5.3, back then working for a Dutch agency. And yeah, for over the past 10 years, I've been one of the founders of the Sitecore Dutch user group, and one of the founders and organizers of the famous SUG, which is the user group conference. And I'm a father of 3 children, happily married, and yeah, I love the Sitecore community. So that's it.
All right. Madhu, you want to go next?
Sure. So my name is Madhu Anbalgam. I live in Boston. I've been working for a company called PK in Boston. And I've been with Sitecore community since 2009. I was originally a .NET developer. I became a Sitecore certified developer in 2009. And from there onwards, I was always on the community. Boston have like 6 different Sitecore agencies. It's a hub. So we all live in downtown. The offices are in downtown. So after the work, we go check out the other Sitecore user groups that happens in the evenings. It's always very active in Boston, and great to be as part of the community, and happy to be here in the chat.
All right. Saurabh?
Hello, everyone. My name is Saurabh Sachdeva, and Himadri, thank you for having me. It's good to be among such, so many veterans of Sitecore. And for me, myself, I have been I've been born and brought up in India, but now settled in London in United Kingdom. So yeah, it's been a long journey for me from like India and learning Sitecore. So I started doing Sitecore in 2009. So that was for a company called Whale Resort. So I used to work at Sapien at that point in time. And the task was to implement 6 websites into a multi-tenanted system. And for me, like, I was a .NET developer at that point in time, and it was challenging as well as like a good learning. And since then, Sitecore has never left me. So after that, I've moved to UK, implemented several Sitecore implementations, and then I got into Sitecore Commerce in 2015, 2016 timeframe. So, and I was recognized as a first Sitecore MVP in 2018, and that's why, like, I started contributing to the community in 2017, because given the nature of my job, I was not able to kind of contribute much to the community at that point in time. But 2017 was the time I started doing that. 2018, I was the first commerce MVP. And then I went on to join Sitecore itself as a professional services lead in the UK. So I lost my MVP and I didn't get the MVP next year because of that, because I was the employee. You can't get a MVP as an employee. But after that, I left Sitecore and started a small consultancy, AssureX, based out of UK. So we are helping out customers with the commerce implementation. And my focus is kind of Sitecore Commerce, Order Cloud now. And those are the areas that we focus on. And being recently awarded as a Sitecore Technology MVP again in 2021 because of my contributions in 2020. One thing we did, like, in terms of community contributions, like we started a group called Commerce Bytes. So which is like, we hope, we try to meet every month and talk about like commerce. And we get a lot of speakers from Sitecore and other, like, other companies who are doing commerce, working in the commerce domain. So that's a good platform to exchange thoughts around commerce activities, etc. So that's pretty much about me. Long time Sitecore, but recently became MVP in 2018. Not like Rob, who's been MVP since I have started working on Sitecore. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, Robbert is like, granddaddy of MVPs, maybe, if I can.
Yeah, even turning gray now. So.
You must have got that 10-year placard this year.
Yeah, I have it here. I have it in my background.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, has it? Okay. All right, it's your turn, Maulik.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Maulik Darji. I'm based out in Columbus, Ohio. Me and Himadri are co-located. We got together during one of the Sitecore Symposium I talked about. I want to start SUG Columbus. And then this year we finally decided to initiate that one. From my personal, I would say that I have been working on Sitecore since 2010. I was working in a company called Investis, which is UK based, but I was working in their India branch. And I was one of the lead for that team where they were managing around 500 websites in a single instance of Sitecore in 2010, we are talking about. And that was one of the biggest project I was taking care 2 years. Then I was keep switching to different companies. 2015, I joined TCS and I got a chance to work with Sitecore Commerce and many more. Right now, currently I'm working with Altudo as a Sitecore architect, and I'm looking after a project in New York City. Plus I'm looking out for some projects on Content Hub. I'm helping out people on JSS because last 2 years I have been working on JSS. And one of the things which I noticed, like if I say how I become a Sitecore community member. So during my work, I was working in a company where there were like less number of Sitecore developers, and suddenly there would be like a project. People would come and they would be like, what is this? Sitecore is a big thing. How I'm going to do this thing, this thing, this thing. So small things. I started doing internal trainings for my teams. Then I realized not my team. There are many people out there who wants to do. So I started contributing on Sitecore community website. I was active at one point of time on Stack Exchange, but then due to some workload, I moved from India to USA. I moved to many places. I went to Denmark, South Africa, USA. So during that traveling, I lost Sitecore community touch, but then again, since last few years, I'm very active and trying to help as many people as possible.
That's great. It looks like I am the youngest Sitecore developer here. So I just started it. I'm actually a 7-time MVP. And from the personal side, I have a like a daughter who went to college. So I'm kind of a empty nester now. So that's my personal life. I have some time to spend on Sitecore now. So okay. So next up, like, we want to talk about Sitecore Symposium. Obviously, this is about Sitecore Symposium. And what is your what was your first symposium? What is your experience about previous symposium? Can you talk about that a little bit? Starting with your first symposium, maybe how many symposium you attended? Robbert, can you go first?
Yeah, I basically started the Pre-Symposium, so at the Dream Core, and I remember talking to Maulik, not about particular what we actually talked about. Back then, it must have been OMS or something. So yeah, so that was actually in London in 2011, and unfortunately, I missed the 2010 one in Denmark or Boston. Well, yeah, wasn't really involved with the community in 2010 yet. Then there was this huge symposium in Amsterdam in 2012, where I remember that Sitecore actually, yeah, every symposium you have this party evening. So we were actually picked up by a canal boat, and like, I don't know how many thousands of people that there were actually in Amsterdam, but I remember that there were so many boats doing this canal tour, and we ended all the way at this maritime museum, where this where the Sitecore party was actually being held. That was a great night. Looking back at least the Sitecore Symposium in Amsterdam. Of course, yeah, Sitecore 6.5 was out back then. I remember Sitecore was actually introducing, I don't know if it was 6.5 or 6.0 when they actually introduced Sitecore MVC. So I remember John West being on stage and doing this technical MVC presentation. Yeah, then every symposium was like 2 years. So in 2014, we went to Barcelona, and yeah, we also had this Dutch, we had the MVP summit after symposium, and with all the Sitecore, the Dutch Sitecore MVPs, we actually were wearing all these orange FC Barcelona shirts. So that was pretty awesome. And yeah, I've done so many events, so I can't recall if 2015 was like the MVP summit, and I guess 2016 was New Orleans. Yeah, which was actually the first symposium overseas for myself. So I don't know if that year was probably the first symposium that Sitecore actually decided to make it a global symposium instead of having this European one and this US one. So I attended that one, Las Vegas, of course, twice. And unfortunately, I had to skip one, which was 2018. So that's a little bit of my Sitecore symposium experience. And yeah, every time going to a symposium, it feels like meeting friends and the Sitecore family, of course. So yeah, I love hanging out a week, and especially after the symposium, the MVP summit, getting all the going into the technical presentations of what was announced, but also looking a little bit further down the road. So that's a little bit of my experience for the Sitecore Symposium.
Yeah, great. Actually, I came to know about Dreamcore only from you guys. I never knew, like, there was something before Sitecore Symposium.
Yeah.
So anyway, Madhu, you want to go next?
Sure. My first symposium was in 2010 in Dreamcore in Boston. So that was really a good eye-opener. I remember Alex Schreiber was presenting, John West was presenting. They were distributing the books with the signature on the John West signature. I still have that book. And the after party at the Boston Hotel was fun. We were talking about the OMS, DMS, all sorts of Sitecore 6 terminologies. It was really great. And then actually I disappeared to India for a couple of years, but I was working from home. I was constantly in touch with Sitecore, but I wasn't attending any symposiums, but I was back to Boston in 2017. That's when I was actually working for a product company, and then I switched to an agency. That's where I was really amazed by how the Sitecore is being utilized in the agencies. Like, you switch between the projects very quick. Every 6 months, 9 months, you get a lot of opportunity to work with the newly released Sitecore products. That's when I started the blog, and then I was contributing much more to the Sitecore community. Became a Sitecore MVP in 2020, and so for the symposiums, I think I attended only 3. Count is less, but it's always fun.
Yeah. So which one was your first symposium?
It was 2010 in Dreamcore.
Okay. And then after that, you attended any symposium like New Orleans or Las Vegas? Mostly or Orlando, maybe.
No, the Orlando one in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also attended the Sarcon India in 2018 summer.
Right. Yeah.
It was again a different community, different. It was really great to see a lot of Indian developers.
Sarcon is a whole different fun.
Exactly. In US, like, we have a very small community or small people, and then when you go to India, it's like, oh my God, like your eyes will be like opened and
so many people. Right?
Yep, totally.
Robert, you were saying something?
No, the Sacons being very developer focused as well.
Yeah,
that's what you hear a lot from other people, that it's way more into the technology, even though marketing is of course a huge part of Sitecore.
Yeah, definitely. Saurabh, you want to go next?
Sure. For me, it started here. Can you see?
Symposium. Okay, I cannot see
with John West. So that was a good good picture with John West. So I started mostly, like I said, I started contributing to community in 2017. So that's when it was in Las Vegas first time, and I met a lot of you guys in 2017, and then the next one I went to is Orlando, because when I was part of Sitecore, I didn't get a chance to get to Symposium. But I had to miss, when I joined Sitecore, I had to miss my Sitecore MVP. I had to miss my Symposium as well. But Las Vegas was the first one, and I must say, it's all about making connections and memories there. Caesar's Place, first Symposium party that I've attended in 2017, and then in Orlando we had that Hollywood Studios tour. So it was all fun, and I personally met a lot of you there. Himadri, I think we briefly met there. Rob, we were in that ride together on the front seat, that free fall that we had. So it's all about making those connections. Maulik as well, I met you in Florida as well. So yeah, it was all about like making those connections as well as like learning from each other. It's kind of and when you go to symposium, you meet a lot of new people, but you don't feel like meeting new people as well, because you know them somehow through some channel or some community. You must have seen their blogs, you must have seen their videos, and it's a kind of great experience going in person, and that's what I miss. That's what I missed since last 1 year, and I'm going to miss this year as well. That not meeting the people in person. That's my experience. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Did we do the Transformers right? Well, was that the one?
No, that free fall, like that the roller coaster one.
Oh yeah,
that
in the beginning. Yeah.
yeah, at the beginning, yeah. So that was the roller coaster one. So I
No,
went to
that back then my stomach was okay, but after the Transformers one, I was like totally, oh man.
Yeah, I
the
know.
Transformers was really exciting, but yeah, it's like I remember, like I did roller coaster after a long time, and I was sitting in the front. I was like on the front seat because I wanted to do on the front seat. I missed so many chances to go on the front seat, but I wanted to do in the front. But it was really really awesome experience. And then obviously like people you meet, the contacts you get there, and the knowledge you exchange. Those are the perfect recipes of. One thing I would regret is like I was not able to attend any MVP summits, to be honest, because when I went to like when I became MVP, I was not able to get to symposium. Next time the symposium happened in a virtual mode, and
Yeah.
this time this time is the same. So that's the part I miss.
Yeah, definitely. Maulik, you want to go?
Yeah. For me, the first symposium, I would say it was a pre-symposium Dreamcore in London. And that was my first ever outside India experience. And that was the symposium's first ever party. So there was a reception, they had a get together, and where it was right on top of London Bridge.
Wow.
So if you have seen the famous London Bridge, which is opening like that, it is opening and we are right on top of that particular bridge. On the bridge, there is a party going on. We are seeing outside the river. Awesome experience. And yeah, I met Robbert there. That was first time I was meeting with so huge Sitecore community for me. We were few friends over there, our colleagues. We attended that. We attended Alex. I think John West was presenting. One of the things which I saw, like when Sitecore started, that was like evening reception on London Bridge. But when we went to the main symposium hall, Dreamcore hall, and there was a very first ever introduction video, and that says unlimited possibilities. Now, 2010, I saw that word unlimited possibilities with Sitecore, and till date, I am still telling the same thing to all my clients that, yeah, within Sitecore, there is unlimited possibilities. You want to do anything, you can do it. There will be some time, it will take some time or not, but yeah, you can do it. There is nothing, no limit in Sitecore. And that's what I loved about Sitecore. And after that 2010, I decided that I want to work in Sitecore. I don't want to work in any other technology. Then I got a chance. I tried multiple times to attend symposiums later, but I was not able to travel anywhere. I moved to USA a few years back and got a chance to attend 2018 and 2019 Orlando. I met many people over there. I met Saurabh, Himadri. I think I met Robbert as well over there. And what was the fun over there? We enjoyed the Orlando rides, the Universal Studio rides. That was a fun part over there. Plus meeting people, also running from one dolphin to swan, swan to dolphin.
Yeah.
So that was one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, last one, the virtual one was a little different. I made my whole setup. I bought a separate monitor to see that. And it was kind of a fun. and I was tweeting a lot at that time. And somehow my tweet was picked by Jack. And he was reading my tweets multiple times. Like I was like, okay, once again, almost 5 or 6 times my tweet was read. I was doing something and tweeted, and he's reading my tweet. So yeah, that was a fun thing, but I really miss the personal one. I really want to meet friends. And one of the things which I always say that giving giving a face to the name. We know people, we have read their blogs, but we haven't seen them. Personally, like we are seeing in video right now, but personally meeting them, it's a big experience. And that's what I'm missing a lot with Symposium going virtual.
Yeah, so Symposium without Jake is kind of like, not possible, I guess. He has become so synonymous with Sitecore Symposium. We will move on. My first Sitecore Symposium was in Las Vegas, and as you know, Suresh is a big party goer, and we had like so much fun and party there. The best thing was like connecting with people face to face, like people I knew from community forums or whatever, Slack and things. So I came to see them face to face. That was kind of exciting for me. And at that time, actually, there was Europe Symposium and like US Symposium. Then they merged it, so we got to see all the European friends in US. So that was more fun actually. So okay, we have to move on because there are a lot more to discuss, and I want to give you chance to actually talk about the technologies and stuff that you are working on also. So next in our topic that we want to talk about is how Sitecore is changing, right? I mean, basically with recent acquisition and things, it looks like there are a lot of things happen this year itself. There are so many acquisition and stuff. Okay, so definitely Sitecore is moving to some direction, and we want to talk about that. So, and I think we talked about like how we are going to discuss this, and you are basically working on some areas, so you can focus on that. So, being said that, Robbert, you want to go first?
Yeah, at the moment I'm mostly still really heavily doing Sitecore MVC, and I'm basically XP implementations. So I know a lot of XConnect, Identity Server, the whole XP platform. That has been my focus, of course, for the past 10 years. The digital marketing suite, back then OMS even, and then made the transition to XP, XDB, XConnect. I hear from you guys doing like proof of concepts or maybe already client implementations from on like Content Hub. So it depends a little bit on which project I'm actually at as a Sitecore contractor. So my focus has been XP, and currently I'm definitely seeing Sitecore as moving from this legacy one and all platform, of course, to a composable digital experience platform. I'm confident that so Sitecore is still investing money and work in the experience platform itself as it is, but they just want to have more options, I guess, with their software. So definitely looking forward to learning new things like Next.js, and I've been doing especially in the evenings, doing Next.js courses on Udemy or YouTube. So that has mostly been my learning. doing the Experience Edge certification for the partners, trying to grab something of Saurabh's market share. So I'm also investing some time in getting to know Order Cloud. I'm just kidding, Saurabh. Yeah, definitely looking forward to learning new things as a technology, as a technology engineer. So
Definitely. I think Sitecore spent quite a bit of time. Sorry, go ahead, Saurabh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, like, like it would be good, like, if you pick up, like, a lot of people pick up Order Cloud or the commerce offering, it's good to have knowledgeable people and then exchange that knowledge, and it grows, it grows in that way. So, when the
Yeah,
thought and people, if you have people to talk about, like, talk things about, it's easier for us to kind of, get the solutions as well. That's
yeah,
what
absolutely. No, I know Himadri, for example, did the headstart demo. Yeah, well, was that the .NET Core or was that Next.js or?
No. The regarding Order Cloud, actually, I did a study and I wrote a blog. And amazing thing is, like, some of these guys in different companies, they actually reached out to me and they actually really appreciated, like, that reading that blog, and I actually put together a video of how to set up
exactly.
the head start, and
Yeah.
that actually helped a lot of people. And I think, yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, community, that exchanging that knowledge, and that accelerate the understanding of the product. But I want to ask you, Robbert, about the XP. Is like, it's a solid product, right? And recently, so, and recently, like, the Forrester Web, like, they are talking about this agile CMS. You can talk about a lot about, like, headless and SaaS system and things, but the kind of feature that XP provides is not always available through, like, the headless system. You have to, like, collect 5 different system to achieve what XP can do, right? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the benefits, of course, of having this all-in-one platform, which XP is that you have the products from Sitecore.
Yeah.
So you have marketing automation, you have analytics. So that's one huge benefit. And I think a lot of platform, a lot of customers actually also want to have, like, if you need to go through all these selection processes with like a different CMS, and then with a different analytics software, and you need to all integrate that. You have, first of all, the buy-in is very complicated, but also the implementation will, of course, you read about these headless and composable DXPs that you can just plug in whatever brand you actually suit. But maybe it would also benefit if benefit from this all-in-one platform. So with it, definitely Sitecore is still investing in that a lot, and sees that XP still has a great future for their current customers, and still for new customers as well. Although I think that Sitecore will also, you have 2 options there as well, to, for example, buy a XM, and then gradually on top of that add Boxever. And then if you want to do mail, or if you want to do like large mailing, then you add Musen to it.
Yeah.
So I also wonder what the new acquisition actually will add. So we haven't heard much from that reflection. So I'm also looking forward during the upcoming symposium hearing more about that.
Yeah, what happened to Covio? I don't know. We always thought Covio will be like, acquired. But anyway, well, let's move to Saurabh. Saurabh, can you go next? And especially we want to hear your perspective on commerce, obviously.
Yeah, I'm actually, personally like just continuing on what Robert had just said, like, composable DXP, and I'm really, excited about the commerce aspect to it. The outer cloud, especially the headless API. So we recently did a session with Jake Hakum from Sitecore, who's the vice president of analytics and commerce. We did a short session with him just to understand how these things are going to fit together. And the way it has been kind of presented is like, starting with XM experience, edge, and then bringing in lot of other things into the picture as and when the client matures. So order cloud offering itself is kind of, if I look at the case studies, there was a case study about a kind of global salon where we have got like thousands of like suppliers built into it, and that outer cloud was kind of able to support those kind of scenarios. And it was like B2B to C. And these are the kind of, something, these are the features that were missing in outer box XC, which is primarily based on B2C. But what I'm like, what I'm after is like a hybrid platform integration to start with, that XC has got order cloud features built into it, and that's what we are kind of working towards. And then in the future, when the Sitecore goes like a broader SaaS model, where we have got like, composable DXP, and it's a bigger picture where you've got like box server on top, and then you have got Sitecore Experience Edge for Content Hub, 451 order cloud sitting in the middle, feeding in the catalog data and everything into it. It's all API based integration, and you can pull out the components which you don't need, or add in the components which you do need as you mature. And then you have got Experience Edge for XM on the other side. That is kind of completes the whole picture of commerce. And like, I was looking at your symposium session as well, which you're going to deliver, like order cloud integration with ERP, and that's the kind of extensibility of the platform itself. So for me, these things are like, I would say like straightforward to integrate. It's just that people start to think more from that point of view. That is kind of really important here. So like, people who have been working in Sitecore has got a particular way of working, and they know how things work, and that will change going forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it will be a change for good. And believe me, like, I would say, like, not many people are kind of have worked on Sitecore XC. And in that sense, Sitecore XP was kind of a early starter with all these technologies, because XC was supporting all the headless and all those features, though it was doing through via XP. So that was not kind of ever highlighted in that fact. But .NET Core, etc., are being kind of introduced in XC in 20, I think it was 2018 when the version 9 was launched. Since then, the .NET Core, etc., was there, and now Sitecore versions have got that as well. So that was a kind of technology, I would say, playground to start with. And now, I, like, I'm not sure how many people would agree with me. The other areas are kind of catching up in terms of technology with XC. And the problem is like, and the problem happened was like, people had got a specific mindset to work with Sitecore XP, and they thought like, same things can be applied for XC, and that is where like, the challenges came in. And they were not able to utilize XC in a way that they should have been doing. And that's what, that's coming from our experience doing that for a lot of customers. And how they can take it, how they can do it in a right way, and still they will be able to upgrade, work alongside the latest and greatest that Sitecore has acquired. For example, box server is kind of easy. Like, it's a they're like low hanging fruits. You've got the API based integration on top. You can add a top layer instead of connect. You can use box server, call the same APIs, and work in the same way that was happening with the Commerce Connect. And instead of collecting the analytics data into XP, you will be start collecting via box server and all those things. Similarly, content hub side, same headless model. You can easily integrate that part. A lot of people have done that kind of integration with content hub. Content hub integrating with Sitecore XC to bring in the catalog data or the images, and then serving the catalog based content on the front end as well. So that has been done. Similarly, experiences, we're all familiar of, and yeah, and then order cloud. And I'm really excited to see what is going to happen with reflection now, because that search is going to improve. And like, given the API headless and all those things kind of coming together, it's a true composable platform. DXP, I would say, is in that way that you are implementing the services that you want. And that was the beauty of Sitecore Commerce to start with, because you're not implementing, like, you're not buying hundreds of features from out of box and which you're maintaining. You're implementing the features which are specific to your business. Now that will apply to the whole ecosystem. So your ecosystem will become like that. So you want, content of features implemented, don't need anything else in that sense. Then you want personalization, you're maturing, you need personalization, implement box ever. This is the true beauty of it. And I'm like, really excited about, like, when all this is being offered as a, like, including Sitecore XP offered as a SaaS, it's going to be a really exciting and really game changing. And I can see, I've been doing Sitecore for like 12 years now, and I can see myself doing Sitecore for next 12 years, I would say, with these changes.
Okay.
It doesn't become boring, to be honest. Like, challenges are new every day, and with these kind of things, it keeps you excited about the platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I have a bit of association with XC, but I never worked in a project, actually implemented a XC project, but I have done, like, my SUG presentation in Germany was like, yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely, order cloud is definitely a really good acquisition, I think. Okay, so we have,
and also, like, that's the reason we created our B2B accelerator with Sitecore Commerce. We want, it's a technology demonstrator, what can be achieved, because I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. Sitecore Commerce doesn't support, but when we created B2B, and when the people see it in action, they're like pleasantly surprised that we can do so many things with the platform. And that's the beauty of it. It's just that, it takes effort to learn the platform, understand the platform. And once you're thorough with it, there's no stopping, the way you can customize it.
Definitely.
And same is going to be like, with order cloud and everything coming together. I'm really excited about that fact.
Yeah, definitely. Madhu, you want to go next?
Sure. So with the recent acquisitions, I've been like recently exploring the Docker, Kubernetes, and managed cloud. So first, initially, when I was exploring the Docker with Sitecore 10, it was the complete mind change that I had, that I have to do, because like in on-prem, everything is a file system. And then when it comes to Docker, everything is the image, the compose, and the volumes, where the SQL and the Solr is and the volumes. When something gets corrupted, we can still, the Docker is stateless, so we can restart the server and it can back up and we can apply the volumes. It's really great. So once I explored Docker, I felt like, oh, I'm comfortable with Docker. But then when we went for production, the Kubernetes, I was like, oh my God. Like when I was exploring the Kubernetes, it was the same thing, but then all the terms were different. It was the secrets, the kubectl, how it's load balancing with the nodes. It's again a different mindset, but once it's adapted, I feel like, oh my God, this is amazing. How we can switch between the environments, how we can get any developer up to speed on the new environment. It's been like recently great. And the same thing with Kubernetes as well. While we were upgrading, we went with the SaaS, the Sitecore Managed Cloud with Sitecore. And that gave us a really good understanding of how they are managing the Sitecore, and we can only do the upgrade one less thing to worry about when we go for the dev or the QA environment or the production. And also the SaaS is offering the search tags, and it takes care of the Azure infrastructure. It takes care of many things, so we don't need to worry about, all we need to worry about is the upgrade and then the DevOps pipeline. Once that is all set, the SaaS will take care of everything. So that was a good recent exploration, and it was amazing. And then on a side note, I've been recently exploring the GitLab, where we can do the, like usually we have the GitHub and then we have some CI/CD, Jenkins, and then Octopus or something like this. But then with the GitLab, we can do everything all in GitLab, the CI/CD pipelines, the deployments, the code check-ins, PRs, everything all at one place. And it's been really great, great exploring GitLab as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about those things. Like, I think I feel like, so much away from that. You said like, you said you have production system running on Kubernetes.
Kubernetes, yep, with SaaS.
Okay, we should definitely get you in our SUG meetup to do a session on that, because I really want to learn.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I heard. Okay, Maulik, you want to go next?
There's going to be an interesting session on Kubernetes, I guess, from fellow Sitecore MVP Robbert from the Netherlands. He's doing a session on moving from Azure PaaS to Kubernetes. So.
Right. I am actually looking forward.
I tried my hand with it. I tried my hand, with Kubernetes, and I agree with Madhu. Like there are a lot of terms to kind of understand, and how do you take out like different nodes and put them back, and how they are slowly going to come back. There are a lot of things that that those are different. But yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, like once you get a knack of it, I think it's kind of it's once you have sorted the whole thing, it's easier. I would say it's easier comparatively. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So since last few years, I was concentrating on Sitecore JS. So when 10 released, 10.1 released, I was looking forward to work with the Sitecore, .NET Blazor with .NET Core with headless implementation. So that is something which I was looking forward to, with lots of things taken, like Sitecore is taking over lots of stuffs, lots of companies. Now comes, let's say, Content Hub was one thing, Moosend, Box7, Reflection, Oracle Cloud, lots of things. So now what I believe is, if someone wants to become a jack of all, he has to learn quite a lot of things. But then these things are really exciting. I am looking forward to, like, suddenly I was pulled into a project where there was a Content Hub, and I was little surprised to see how that works and how easy it is. Okay, just upload. So a small training and I was up and running, trying to help client, how they want to upload, crop, all those things, how to manage their images, how to structure it. So things, it's little, I would say it's little difficult to start, but then when you when you get hold of the things, it's fun to work. I love to work on Sitecore JSS. Just for an example, I was working in a project, and when we developed our website and launched it on our UAT server, not the client, I was shocked to see the speed. The site was loading in 2 seconds, and I was like, wait, is this really super fast? And after that, I was like, yeah, this is something which I really wanted to do since long. 2 seconds, the site is loading. I love JSS. And I'm looking forward to see some more JSS headless implementation related topics in Symposium. I did find just 2 or 3 this time, but those are more related to headless with commerce. No, and just one that is headless with Next.js, but still that is also with commerce. It's not one single one. It is enterprise headless commerce with 451 order cloud and Next.js by Arvai Milai and Nick Allen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that session as well.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that session. And
I'm curious if you're doing Sitecore JSS for like the last 2 years, and now Sitecore actually came with that ASP.NET Core SDK for headless rendering. So yeah, apparently you moved into the React stuff.
React, like it depends on, most of the time it depends on the client, what they want in front end. I worked with React, Vue, Angular, all those 3 things. And I suggested, how about going to core? But client says, no, we are not yet ready for core, because generally what happens for core, they need .NET developers.
Yeah.
Where other technologies, front-end technologies, client can definitely hire some, they have one or other person in their team would be working on front-end technologies like React or Angular or any other Vue.js or now Next.js. So they are looking forward to going towards JS framework rather than a .NET Core framework.
Okay. Yeah.
And .NET Core is also like, it's the kind of server-side technology, right?
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally client-side. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen Kamru's meme on JSS, Sitecore, and like, composable DXP? I think he posted in Twitter. It was quite funny. Like,
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably seen it, but he posted that like a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly like, caught the situation now JSS in actually. So it was funny. Okay, so for me, I recently worked with Content Hub and like, that kind of technology, Next.js and things. So I'm still trying to understand what is Sitecore's like, strategy there. So I created an application using Content Hub as the backend, like, content repository, and then created a Next.js application on the top of that. And Nico Esselman came and asked me, like, why you have not used Experience Edge? And I was like, okay, I thought that I can just do it Content Hub. Okay, and I know that Experience Edge is there, but it seems like, Content Hub itself, like, there are API SDKs, like, there is a JavaScript API SDK, and you can, using that, you can do a lot of stuff, but it is not GraphQL. Okay, so thing that I found is actually Sitecore is not adding GraphQL in Content Hub. Okay, so they are adding, like, it's part of the Experience Edge. So, but you really want GraphQL because it's so much more efficient than like, REST API, because REST API will give you like everything, and payload is huge, and GraphQL is like, you get what you want. Okay, so but they are adding that, and they're like, I think the strategy is that Experience Edge, you have to have Experience Edge with the Content Hub or with XM. We know that, like, Sitecore is working on XM SaaS model. We have seen, like, some MVP presentation, but I think the strategy probably is like, use Content Hub as the asset, like, as a DAM and PCM and CMP, like, more of a, like, more of a repository, headless repository, than like, provide a delivery system or something like that. So you are going through Experience Edge, and it seems like Sitecore is probably putting Experience Edge in the, like, something like Vercel. Okay, so it's going to host this API, like, endpoints in Experience Edge, and then it will, like, deliver that based on what region you are coming from. So it will be cached, and it will be ready for you and published to Experience Edge when you change something in the Content Hub. So it's kind of a model I think they're going towards, and I want to explore more on that area. But again, like, Experience Edge, they don't provide the license or anything for the not license, but the credit for MVPs like they do for the Content Hub. You have to go with the partner. So I think every partner has that. So yeah. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. Like, what is your thoughts on, like, we have 5 more minutes. So we want to, like, finish it, not maybe in next 5 minutes, but we want to finish it with some notes about, like, what is your thought about virtual symposium, what you are looking forward to, like, seeing in this symposium. So let's go with that. Madhu, you want to go first?
This symposium, like, I'm looking for the CMO and CEO updates and the experience awards, and obviously the DevOps pipeline, and then some closing notes, which is always very motivating note. And that's my plan.
Sure. Okay, Saurabh.
For me, it's like, apart from the keynotes, I'm interested in, like, 15 common sessions that I can see on board. And, specifically what Jake Hukum is doing, like he's kind of highlighting the commerce roadmap. I think it was like making connections for customers. And then there are, like, I'm like looking forward to your session when Himadri, you're doing about the integration with ERP. So I will be like really interested to know, how what strategy you took for that. So, and basically, and then, I want to look at the overall roadmap of the product as well, how they are going to, plan, and what is going to come up in the future. So those are the key takeaways for me, apart from virtually meeting a lot of interesting people.
I think, yeah, that will be something I will look forward to, also meeting people. Robbert?
For me, yeah, a virtual symposium just doesn't do it for me. I love the energy that I'm always getting from people when we actually meet up in real life. During MVP Summit Symposiums, SACons. So that really does it for me. So I'm looking forward to the first of all the roadmap sessions. We've already seen as Sitecore MVP some part of the roadmap, so I'm looking forward on the vision on reflection, how that will actually end up in the whole DXP, then talking about DXP, there are some great sessions. I printed them out here. I think that there is the session we already talked about from Arve and Nick Allen on the headless commerce with 451 Water Cloud Next.js. But I think Rick Bauer and Richard Sewell have a very good session as well. Also on these composable implementations with Next.js, or I don't know what they're actually trying to plan in. And I know that Andy Uzik, one of the old, I guess the longest Sitecore MVP, he's got a session as well from the pod to actually going from like this all-in-one platform to a headless platform. That'll be interesting as well. And as far as the other technical sessions, there's one on developing on Experience Edge from Alistair Denise. So looking forward to that one as well. And like Madhu was saying on Kubernetes, my knowledge isn't up to date with on Kubernetes. So I think Rob Brake has a very good one, and Bas Leijten always has a good session. So he's also doing something with Kubernetes as well. He always has a good session as well. So overall roadmap sessions, composable DXP sessions, headless. That'll be it for me. But mostly watching it during the night, probably, and later on. Not really, especially this virtual things, not taking 2 full days of work, which normally I'm doing. So
All right, Maulik, you want to go next?
Yeah, I am looking forward to headless and order cloud, but I'm looking forward to content hub as well. So there is one session where there are like they moved quite a huge amount of assets into content hub. So that is one thing which I'm gonna look at that and just solving. Which one was that? So there are many sessions I'm looking forward to, but what I believe is headless, only on headless, I don't see anything right now, but order cloud, Kubernetes, yes, that is something which I really want to look at in future. Content hub, definitely yes. That is something what I'm looking forward to. And then I'm gonna try to find some good developer session, or maybe you can say on-demand session, because what I am seeing right now is there are less number of sessions, I believe. And I think Venu also mentioned that the same in the chat. Do we have a fewer session for technical audience around the world compared to previous paid symposiums? I think there are less number of sessions, because generally we used to have 2 or 3 tracks running parallel, minimum 3 tracks. Last year I was seeing at some point of time there were 4 or 5 tracks running at the same time. Right now I think so it is 2, max 3. So yeah, there are less number of sessions, but I'm gonna take maximum out of that. I'm gonna look at on-demand sessions. So those are something which is available even after symposium, I hope. Not during the symposium time, even it is available on later. So that will be a major lookout.
Yeah, I also noticed after doing, I actually wrote up a block of must-see sessions, which I think are quite interesting. But I noticed that after that, a couple of more sessions were actually added. So back then there were like 64, and after that we were like 70. So I might have missed your presentation totally, Himadri. So sorry for that.
No problem. It is on demand.
So I'll watch it on demand.
Yeah, it is on demand. And by the way, I have to work on that. So that makes me tense.
Yeah.
Now you guys are saying you are going to watch it. So I'm
good luck on all your preparations.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just I think I will completely agree with Robbert that symposium virtual doesn't work for me at all. And I am hoping that we will be there seeing each other face to face in the next symposium. We better be there. This is just not working for us. So yeah, but my focus mainly will be in the architecture and scaling session. I definitely want to learn more about Docker, Kubernetes, and obviously commerce is one of my focus. So I would like to watch the same session that you guys are talking about, Nick and his other guy. I don't know that other person, but I know Nick. They are doing it. So definitely looking forward to those sessions, and as well as I have to also prepare for my session. But anyway, that's just 20 minutes. I'll try to come up with something. So
yeah, every session is pretty short, or do they have 45-minute sessions as well?
Yeah, the question that I was asked, are you going to do a demo? I mean, there's no way I can do a demo in a short time. So I'm completely will be focused on architecture and what we are building. That's the plan. Okay, so we are 4 minutes over. I just want to give a chance to audience, if anyone has any sort of question for the panel member here, or any comments. I would love to hear from you. No? All right. If there is no other comments or anything, you guys have any final thoughts?
Yeah, we're wishing all the presenters actually good preparation and good luck on their sessions. So, I mean, yeah, people are doing this voluntarily. So a big thanks, I guess, from the Sitecore community to all the presenters that are actually presenting at Sitecore Symposium. And thanks to Sitecore, I guess, for making it a free event for the first time. So,
Definitely. All right, Madhu.
And thank you and all the best to all the presenters who are presenting. Yeah, and thank you, Himadri, for having me on this, exciting, as a part of this exciting conversation. And looking forward to many more like this if he in the future.
Yeah, me too. It was a pleasure being here and chatting with you guys. So.
Definitely, pleasures are mine, ours. Okay, Madhu.
Same here. This was a great chat session, and would like to be part of the upcoming future sessions. We'll be attending all the SUG Columbus sessions, and good luck, Himadri, for the presentation. And I hope we'll be attending on the time. And great Sitecore community. Happy to chat with everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Himadri.
Maulik, you want to say something about, from organizers' perspective?
I'd like to thank everyone for joining. This was a really good session. Know about what happened in past with Sitecore, how Sitecore community is growing, and what we should look forward to during the next symposium. I'm very much positively looking forward to next symposium. Last night I spent quite a lot of time arranging all the, you can say, sessions. What is the time? Because I got lots of confused with what's going on, why there are sessions repeated. And that's what something I don't like about SUG Con. SUGCon is also very similar, where you have running 3 sessions in 3 different time zones. I want to see only my time zone. Can I have a look at? No worries. I just created an Excel file. I will share with people. Guys, you just have fun. What you want to see.
Let's make it a Google or Apple iCal agenda for that, so people can actually import it.
I'm gonna share it on Google Drive, the whole session list, what I have prepared, and I was little surprised to find in that generally Page O'Neill's closing remarks are end of the day, and I was seeing at 2 p.m. and then there are some sessions. So now it is little bit jumbled up, and that's why I had to create a Excel for that. What at a session I have to attend.
You're prepared, so
yeah,
definitely.
You need to write a custom import into Sitecore and then create a page.
Here we go. New ideas.
New ideas.
All right, guys, this was so much fun. Okay, I knew that this will be great, and thank you all for joining here, and especially from Columbus SUG. We are very grateful. So we will have this session. We have recorded it, and we will publish it in YouTube. There is a SUG Columbus channel, and we will actually spread it over, social media and every place. And thank you very much, and have a good day. Good evening. I know that you guys are there already, after hours, and we are here the afternoon, still have to work. So have fun. Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Thank
See you
thanks
guys.
everybody. See you next year.
See you.
Stay safe. Take care.
Bye.
If you have noticed, there is an email right now came from Sitecore. When we were talking, there is an email came from Sitecore, and there is something new added. Brain date, new application added for communication.
I saw the email, but I haven't read the email though. But I saw something came from Sitecore.
I'll see. All right. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks you. Bye.
Bye bye.